This Beach Walk blog is going to be talking about addiction. Why am I talking about addiction? Well, it's something that I see a lot in runners and also in triathletes, is addiction. Now, I know a lot of you are going to think, I'm not a drug addict, I'm not an alcoholic. No, maybe you're not. But you probably don't realise that you're in some way addicted. And the proof really is in your actions and the fact that you can't let go, the fact that you can't take a rest day without feeling guilty, the fact that you can't back off, the fact that you have FOMO, fear of missing out. And that is the kind of addiction which is driving you to injury and to poor results. So the other day I put out on the Sling Method Facebook page, the public group, the Revolutionize Your Running group, 20 reasons why you're not getting the results that you want. And some of those reasons were: you do all your runs too fast, you do all your runs too slow, you don't take a rest day, you don't allow your body the recovery that it needs, you don't do the right things in order to get to your goals. And the list is out there. You can go to that public group and check that out. But one of the things that I left off that list, and I left it off there for a reason, was because I actually wanted to talk about it, was this addiction. You have an addiction to exercise. And you know, a lot of people say, I want to be a better runner, and then I give them all the things that they can do to really work on their running, and they go, no, it's okay, I don't want to do that, because I like doing other things. So you're not really running because you want to be a better runner. You're running because for some other reason, and that might be because of weight loss or punishment for yourself. You like the feeling that you get when you work out, whatever it is. But there's some underlying cause going on there, and I want you to have a think about what your exercise regime replaced, how it leaves you feeling. And you know, when you don't achieve something, you feel down, you feel depressed, you feel upset, you feel angry at yourself, or you had a bad run and you have to go out and do another run to make it up to yourself. Or you know, maybe you ate a bar of chocolate and you're now going to go and punish yourself by doing a hard run. And these are the things that I see a lot, and these are the things that I see regularly. Is, you know, I'm not running, and this is totally fine. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. You're not running to be a better runner. You're running because there's something else going on that your release. You know, people say I run for my mental health. Yeah, totally, I get that. I don't say that it's for my mental health. I say because I like running, because I like exercise. Exercise gives me good things. That's why I run. That's why I work out in general. But most of my workouts are geared towards my running. Why? Because I know how much those workouts are beneficial for my running. So if my running gets better, or if I'm gearing my workouts for my running, I'm going to be able to carry on running. And I like running. So, you know, whether you're running to become a better runner, or whether you're running because it's your escape, it's your mental health, it's whatever reason it is, you have to understand that you are still running. So running is the thing that you have to respect the most, because that's the thing that if you don't have it, I know how you're going to be. I know what your mood is going to be like. I know what your actions are going to be like. I know how you're going to feel. And that is the problem right there. It's if I can't run, I get angry, I get mad, I get upset, I get frustrated, I get depressed. My mental health suffers, my family life suffers, probably more than likely my waistline suffers a little bit. And That's all because of running. But it's not because of running, it's because of maybe doing the wrong things, or maybe because you're doing all your runs too fast, and because of your stress levels, and because you don't sleep very well, because your diet's not very good. So, you know, whether you're running because you love running, or whether you're running because it's your mental health, your escape, whatever reason it is, you still have to remember you are a runner, and you have to respect running. You have to respect the demands of running. You have to respect what pressure, what stress that puts on your body, and how your body needs to adapt to those stresses and become better at dealing with those stresses. And that is a part of what the Sling Method is all about, is approaching the human body from a perspective of its priority in gait. That's the running gait cycle, more than the walking gait cycle, of course, because the running gait cycle is far more stressful and high demand than the walking gait cycle. So respecting it from the perspective of running gait. And I've done a couple of posts the last couple of days talking about pronation and the movements that lead us to pronation. That is our goal. When I think to myself, I am going to run, I think to myself, I must pronate. I must pronate, that's my goal. If I don't pronate, then I'm actually not efficient, not economical in my running gait, and I'm probably going to likely end up with some kind of issue, suffering, pain, whatever. So I want to make sure that I'm always pronating. Now I do the things that I talk about. I do all of the Sling Method exercises through the week, and my goal is to gear myself towards that, because I know that I'm talking from a perspective of what I see from other people. If you have your running taken away from you because you're injured, you are going to be upset, you're going to be grumpy, you're going to be miserable, your family's probably going to hate your guts for a little while, because you're just not a particularly nice person to be around. And all of that is because you can't run, because you're injured. So why not gear your strength training towards pronation and getting your body to rotate and move well, to gear it towards pronation, because pronation is a really good thing. Rather than saying, oh, I must do my squats, I must do my deadlifts, I must do my clamshells, blah 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 blah, why not say I must gear my training towards the gait cycle? Well, part of that thing that I'm talking about here, the addiction, is the addiction to numbers and lifting weights. And I know some people have accused me, or said words like being a zealot. Well, you know what, yeah, fine, fair enough. I'm gonna be a zealot towards what I'm doing because I'm not injured. I'm not injured. Why am I not injured? Why am I running pain-free? In fact, why am I walking around every day pain-free? Because I became a zealot towards gait. Is that a bad thing? Is it? Have a think about it. If I want to, it's interesting that people that are telling me that I'm a zealot, well, you're a zealot because you're addicted to the other thing that you're doing, which is taking you away from being a better runner. You can't see that because you're stuck in it yourself, right? Because you're addicted to this thing that, oh, I have to work out in this way. Well, no, you don't. You don't have to work out in that way. Oh, but it keeps my body looking the way I want it to look. Okay, well, maybe there's a part of your addiction talking, but you just don't realise it yet. All right? Think about it. Have a think about it. If you can't let go of something, why can't you let go of it? If I said that to a smoker and said, stop smoking, well, I can't, I'm addicted. They know they're addicted. But some people don't realise they're addicted because it's a behaviour that you see as healthy. It's a behavior that you see as healthy, but actually the result is not healthy. The result is that you don't have a healthy body in terms of movement function and injury, right? You have a diseased body because you, in some respects, you have a diseased mind. So let's connect the two together. Right, let's connect the two together because we know that everything is connected, right? I must do this. I must do this. I'm addicted. Let's change the word I must do this. Let's change that sentence to I am addicted to this. I can't not do it. But when you kind of change that and you go, well, I'm not going to not do anything. It's like when people say to me, oh, you're what you're doing is not strength training. Okay, well then why are you struggling to do it and I'm not? That must mean that I'm stronger than you are. Oh yeah, but you can't squat. Yes, I can. I just don't squat with 300 pounds on my back. I can squat. In fact, my squats have got better since I worked on my gait because I improved my internal rotation, I improved my dorsiflexion, I improved how my body moves so freely in the sagittal plane. I became better at squatting. Interesting, huh? Yeah, that's what working on your gait does. It actually makes you better at everything. Right? It didn't make me stronger at squatting because I don't squat with weights. So it didn't make me stronger in that way. But what it made me more able to do was everything else that I wanted to do. Running, swimming, all these things that I do now pain-free, because what I did was I saw, it was so obvious, I saw how addicted I was to my workout regime. I wasn't addicted to anything else. So I didn't have a drug addiction. I've never drunk alcohol in my life. I've never taken drugs. But I had an addiction to the feeling I would get from looking a certain way. Now, if I put up some photos of how I looked 20 years ago now, when I was like 25 to 30, maybe a little bit before and a little bit after that, I was pretty well built. Pecs, huge pecs and lats and shoulders and six-pack abs, which I still have that now. Not quite as big as it was before because I'm not doing the things I was doing before. But I'm not skinny and I'm still strong and I can still do the things that I used to do in gymnastics because I have good control over my body. Yeah, I don't squat with 300 pounds, but then again, I'm not training for being in a gym. Those exercises are just training you. All you're doing is training for that thing, right? I'm training. There's nothing else that's training for, right? People didn't squat with 300 pounds on their back before a gym that had 300 pounds in it came along, right? So it's not functional. It's not functional. You don't do it anywhere apart from in the gym. You go to the gym to do the very thing that you think that you're training for to do outside of the gym that never occurs. So it's not training. It's training for that. It's fine. And I'm not here to bash the squat again, because I'm not. What I'm saying is that these things, they're just feeding into that addiction. My addiction used to be how my body looked. Yeah, I still care about how my body looks. That's why I work out, of course. But I do it without the disease. I do it without the dysfunction. Right? I do it with a lot of different stuff. I still have biceps, I still have abs, I still have pecs, I still have lats, I still have shoulders. I'm still strong. I just do it differently. It's okay. So go back to this addiction thing. Ask yourself, could you go without the gym for a little while? How would it affect your brain if you went without the gym for a while? Because I saw what happened during the pandemic when all the gyms shut down and people were like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Didn't affect me because I had my gym in my house with my resistance bands and I ran. And that's not a high and mighty thing saying, oh, it didn't affect me. Well, because I do things differently. So I was able to do the same things that I've been doing for years because I don't need a gym. So just want you to think about why you run. All right, if you run because you want to be a better runner and you want to race and you want to do those things because you want to run a marathon or you want to run a 10k or a half marathon, 5k, whatever it is, and you want to get really good at that, and that's great. That's absolutely great. That's why I run, and I run for the health benefits. But I'm not addicted to it. I can take rest days without feeling guilt. I can take those easy days. I can do those easy runs because I understand why I'm doing it, right? I know that it's not just about go hard or go home, go ham, go hard as a mofo. It's not about those things, right? Because I understand it and I know why I'm doing it, okay? And I'm not trying to run off a bad diet. Okay, so think about why you're injured and have a look at that post that I did. 20 things why you're not getting, 20 reasons why you're not getting the results you want to get, and see if you recognize that addictive, compulsive personality. Maybe you don't need to think about all those other things. You just need to think about that addiction and that compulsive personality that you have. You need to focus on that little bit by little bit each day. Focus on that. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm not quite going to leave it there because I'm going to tell you how my addiction affected me. And how I've kind of talked about that a little bit. It brought about that dis-ease and dysfunction in my body by the dis-ease in my mind. That addiction in my mind brought about the wrong actions, which brought about the dysfunction in my body. Now, that's what I wanted to say about me, and I want you to ask yourself whether you can relate. Because if you can relate and you're injured and you're not fixing your body so that you can then run injury free, what are you doing that's causing those injuries? And is it a product of your compulsion and addiction and an addictive personality? Okay? And I'm going to leave it right there. Have a great day, and don't fear the change. Don't fear change. See how that change can actually benefit you. Take care. Beautiful day out here. Loving this. Beach Walk Vlog number 14. Bye bye.